What's up, everyone? Welcome to Bluegrass State of Mind, the show where three college roommates talk life, sports, and all the ridiculous things that happen in an apartment we like to refer to as Room 302. We're bringing you stories, hot takes, and the kind of late-night debates that probably should have stayed in the group chat.
So grab your headphones, sit back, and get ready for a wild ride through our past college life, sports, and everything in between. Let's get into it. This is Bluegrass State of Mind.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Bluegrass State of Mind. Got a lot in store for tonight. Things we're going to start out with, though, is some unfortunate news. A Wildcat legend finally calls it quits and is retiring, even though he's been in retirement, it feels like, for the past 4 years. But he officially made it official, I guess you could say. Mr. John Wall is done. So, a lot of thoughts on this. Before I get into any statistics or whatnot, let's just give, our thoughts about John Wall. And, I'll start out with this and then you all can have it. For me personally, I don't think John Wall was the best player to come through the Cals era. I think that would probably be Anthony Davis. However, though, I do think he was the most exciting player. I think John Wall is my favorite player of all time because, he was the person that kind of reignited Kentucky basketball. I know Cal came in, but you could say one needed the other, but without John Wall, I don't know that we were like I can just vividly remember, Big Blue Madness, doing the John Wall dance, the dunk against North Carolina, the last second shot, early in the season, those are so many things I think of when I think of John Wall. I even think of his mixtape, his high school mixtape. I think it's one of the greatest ones ever. And he just we're back. We are back. And that's what my immediately thought is with John Wall. He was so exciting. He was so quick. He could get from one side of the court to the other so fast. It was almost like a Derrick Rose, in a sense. Had a lot of resemblance of Derrick Rose. And I think probably that's why he was so successful is because of, John Calipari having Derrick Rose at Memphis. But man, what a legend. That was in our time whenever we were probably we just loved Kentucky basketball. And it was somebody that I know I looked up to. I have his jersey right here. I bought his Reeboks. What in the world? I bought Reebok basketball shoes. He made things cool. The sleeve, it was all of it. All of John Wall. He had everybody, Big Blue Nation behind him. But that's just my immediate thoughts. Mason, share some thoughts on John Wall.
No, I agree with what you said. He kind of revitalized Kentucky basketball. It kind of brought that excitement back, with how he was playing, excitement built around him coming out of high school. Like you said, best recruit we'd had in a while coming in, and he lived up to the hype. He was always so fun to watch. I remember vividly, I was actually at the game. I don't know if y'all remember that year, but he had a buzzer beater against Miami, Ohio. At home.
Yeah, I was at that game too.
Were you?
That's that's the game I'm talking about. Where I say I was like at that point, me and my dad, we listen, when we buy tickets, Colton knows this, but when we buy tickets, we don't go to our seats. We go down there and the Blue Coats, we got past them. We were on the 6th row. Had no business being there, but I remember it too. It was right beside the free throw line, left corner. Bang.
Yep. Place went nuts. I think he just like you said too, Dylan. He just kind of jump started Kentucky basketball again and brought that excitement back. And it was really fun watching that whole team. Whenever he came in that year, a lot of excitement, a lot of kind of they brought the swag back to Kentucky. I would say,
100%.
Everybody wanted to be like them. Everybody wanted to play like them. They were having fun. So it was an exciting time for Kentucky basketball. And obviously, I think he's a very important piece of Kentucky basketball history. And what he did is so exciting.
Yeah, you mentioned he was a very important. We got John Calipari, but Colton, speak on. I want to hear your thoughts on John, but go ahead and also add on like how important it was to get him. Because at that point we're coming off Billy Gillispie. I mean, like we were
Yeah.
like Kentucky basketball was not in a good place.
No, I mean he helped them, kind of. I'll say this: the more I think about it, when's the last time you saw a player like that? Right? I mean, the guy that was a freshman that come in like that, like the stars that had been at Kentucky was the 340er guys,
Mm-hmm.
right? And he was really like the first guy, and with that class in general, but the first guy that come in that you were like, this is it, right? We're getting him for this year. There's no more after this year.
Mm-hmm.
And, that was the beginning of really that one and done.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly. That's what I was going
and
to say. For
he
the
was
entire
really
college basketball.
he was really the beginning of that. I think people kind of wanted that to be. I think they kind of wanted Rondo to be similar, right? He was kind of like that street ball, like he could do a lot, very skilled, but he did not have the explosiveness that John Wall had. Like it was just a different athlete that we hadn't seen at Kentucky in years. And so, yes, after coming off what we did, he brought the excitement back. Obviously, Cal bringing in those type of players, Bledsoe and Cousins in that same class. I mean, who? Daniel Orton.
Daniel
I think
Orton.
was in that class. I mean, you still had some guys like Liggins still there and some other ones like that. But
Patrick Patterson.
Patterson.
The SEC tournament that year, we beat Mississippi State in overtime, and
on the missed free
Send it.
throw. Yeah.
Yep.
But
I
I
was
mean,
there for
just
that.
overall, I mean, he's it's one of those two you hate to see his career cut short because of injuries.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like a Derrick Rose. Once that first initial injury happened, the explosiveness that they relied on kind of left, and they kind of lost their game because none of them were great shooters. Right? John Wall wasn't a great shooter. He wasn't great offensively, but he was so explosive that you can score in multiple ways and you actually get hot shooting. They were talking about the different games. He had like a 50-something point game, right? Like I think he had a 50-something point game with the Wizards. They were showing all of his multiple, like the best games he had in NBA.
Mm-hmm.
So like he was another one of those that had he not been hurt by injuries, it would have been really exciting to see another 6 or 7 good years out of him anyhow.
Well, when you think of like the dribble drive, that was like what Cal was known for. And the reason why is because you had players like John Wall. I mean, didn't have to be great shooters. I mean, just get past your guy and go get a bucket. I mean, be athletic. And that kind of has disappeared. But just to get into some, I think a lot of people forget, maybe because it's been so long, but a lot of people forget how good that team was. They were 35-3. Like after today, I was like, man, I forgot that. Like, I mean, like that they they were legit. John Wall himself was a first team All American. He averaged 16.5 points, 6.5 assists, and 4.3 rebounds as a freshman. Now, granted, the SEC was not like it was today, not even close. But this, you're talking about the first ever, pretty much all freshman team that was sent out in a while. It was something that hit college basketball by the face, and that was kind of the beginning, of the Cal era of the one and dones. But after college, he went to go on the NBA. He was drafted number 1. Played 11 NBA seasons. He was a 5-time NBA All-Star, All-NBA third team, NBA All-Defensive second team, and he was 2014 Slam Dunk Contest champion. I mean, he had a successful career. I mean, he averaged 18.7 points in the NBA, 8.9 assists. Like that's a legit career. It's just
peak of his career. He was averaging 20 a game and 10 assists a game. And there before he got hurt, he was averaging 20 and 10 for like 4 or 5 seasons in a row.
Yeah. Well, his best season was in 16-17. He averaged 23 points and 10 assists, or right at 11 assists. I mean, like, and a point guard in the NBA, I mean, like that's balling. So I think it's just, we're going to look back and, I think that the memories that he gave us and other people of Big Blue Nation is something we won't forget because, like you said, he reignited Kentucky basketball.
Let me ask. I've seen people kind of talking about this, and I know accomplishment-wise at UK he didn't do a whole lot because he was there for 1 year. But do y'all think his jersey deserves to be in the rafters at some point?
No, probably not. And that's not me trying to diss on John Wall. I
agree.
I think that the ones, like, if he'd have won a national championship, like, I think Anthony Davis does. But now Anthony Davis won,
also won National Player of the Year.
Won National Player of the Year, won a national championship. Went on, it's going to be a Hall of Famer, in the NBA. Like, his jersey does, but John Wall, even as explosive as he was, I mean, you talk about all the guards, really. I mean, while he was better than some of these guys, I mean, Brandon Knight took us to a Final Four, right? I mean, but I would take John Wall over Brandon Knight any day. But, Brandon Knight probably actually, the type of buzzer beaters he hit and the type of leadership he had was, it's hard to, it's probably going to be hard to say that. I wouldn't personally think that he will be, but who knows?
I think I agree, but it's a hard agree with me. Just like Cone, I feel like the feelings in me want to say yes because I truly believe like he played such a big role in turning the next page for Kentucky basketball. So if his jersey went up there, it wouldn't be for his accomplishments. I don't think. I think it would be the way that he transformed Kentucky basketball in a time where we were crawling, like, and we needed to get back up. But no, no, probably not. But I wouldn't. I wouldn't be disappointed if he was put in the rafters. All right, well, let's get on to our next segment here. So Mason has proposed. Actually, Mason, you want to do it about the NIL?
Sure. So I threw out a topic last night, presented one for us to talk about. And what it is which athlete would have made the most NIL money if it existed in their era? I feel like this is kind of a good tail off of John Wall. I feel like he'd have been a good one who'd have made quite a bit of money off NIL. But Colton, I'll throw it to you first. What athlete do you think would have made the most NIL if it existed in their era?
So are we?
Hold on, Cole. I just done like 20 to 25 years. That's kind of what my base was. I didn't go like way up.
I'm also, but are we also thinking in a single season or across their college career? Because that's going to play a big difference. Because you got some guys that were legends for their college careers.
Yeah, I would just say their name in general. Honestly, like I don't.
Okay.
Like I think
because I think we're all going to have very similar answers.
Yeah. Y'all may already name this one, but I'm going to say Tim Tebow.
Yeah, absolutely. That was my first one.
Yeah, I mean, I think Tim Tebow. I mean, obviously, I think he's got to be up there. What he would have made in NIL,
he was just
would have been unreal. Just so dominant.
Yeah,
running, passing. I mean, back-to-back national champions.
Heisman. Yeah, two-time national.
Yeah, I mean,
I think, speaking on Tim too, I think that for my book, is top 3, like, the best leaders to ever lead a team. Like, I think he just done everything the right way. Like, he when I think of Tim Tebow, I immediately think of that press conference whenever he's got mud all over not mud, but it's the touchdown like right on his jersey, and he's talking about you'll never see anybody lead a team and push a team as harder as I will. You'll never see a team, and then at the end he says God bless, and like it gives me chills. Just like that's the kind of leadership, and honestly, you don't really see many people do that in a press conference. Like just come up and just give that, like, all right, like. So I just think he was a dog, man. He was so good.
He was, and like I said, he was so liked. Like even though I'm a Kentucky fan, like you don't really like Florida, but you got to cheer for Tim Tebow. He's such a likable guy. He's a good guy. And I remember I was at the game. Y'all remember when he got knocked out against us?
Mm-hmm.
I was at
Oh,
that
yeah.
game.
Yeah.
Stadium, like you could tell, like everybody was kind of had like that knot in their stomach for him. Like, oh no, I hope this guy's all right. Like he's such a good dude. He's such a good player, such a good leader. Like, so yeah, I mean, I think Tim Tebow's definitely the answer for me, kind of based on what all y'all said is number one.
So did we all go with Tim Tebow? Okay, let's all name at least another, like
Yeah.
two or three. Let's name 3 total.
Okay. I'll name another football player. I think this guy is the exact opposite. Come on, man. Why did you you didn't even let me get to it?
I'm not going to say it.
He's
People
the
want to-
exact opposite of Tim Tebow. Tim Tebow's on this side, and Money Manziel is on this side. Complete different characters, but he still had everybody in the same feelings. Like you best believe when Johnny Manziel was playing on a Saturday, I was turning Johnny Manziel on because it was so electrifying. You didn't know what was going to happen. He reminded me a lot of like I don't know if this is a good comparison, but like his reactions remind me a lot of Tiger Woods. Like Tiger Woods, he didn't hold anything back when he done something electrifying. Johnny Manziel didn't hold anything back when he done something he let the whole stadium know. And so yeah, I think Johnny Manziel, without a doubt. I mean, he just was he was also a dog. He's a killer, but he let everybody know it too. So did Tim, but I mean, just in a different way. He was so fun to watch.
He was on my list for sure, and I was sitting here thinking, I was like, that man might have made more money under the table than some of the guys are making right now off of NIL when it's legal. So he, Texas A&M, all that Texas oil money.
Yeah, no, he was already probably getting paid.
Absolutely, he was getting paid under the table.
Yeah, that's probably why. That's probably why he was doing the money signs.
Absolutely,
doing the money signs because he was getting paid money. Okay, so let's name who we think college basketball would have got paid the most NIL. One college basketball player. I mean, I know who I have in mind. I think there could have been a couple close ones.
Yeah, it pains me to say this, but Zion.
Are you going to say Zion? Yeah. I mean, I think that was the.
So I had wrote down.
Yeah. So I mean, okay, so we're all on the same page on that one. I mean,
I think Anthony.
I have
Davis.
another one. Did you write down another one?
Basketball or football?
Basketball.
I mean, are you going to go with Anthony Davis or Cooper Flag?
I was going another way. But the only thing that would hurt this guy is I think his image was fine. It's just the school in general. Jimmer. I thought the school itself would hurt, but you think of right now BYU just now got the top
number
recruit.
1 overall pick, yeah.
So I'm just sitting here like, well, maybe it wouldn't affect the school because Jimmer, I mean, that was another person. Whenever Jimmer Fredette was playing, I was turning like I don't watch BYU nothing. But Jimmer would start. He was Steph before Steph. Like that. I mean, like that. That's just how it was. I mean, pull up Jimmer like you a trash can at school. Jimmer. I mean.
Oh yeah. For sure.
But no, I think, man, and these players though, they have to be like somewhat salty. Like, especially these big time players who were so successful in college, and then they get to the pro level and they just are not successful, and they're out within 2 or 3 years, if that. And they're just like in the back of their head, they're thinking like, "Wow, why couldn't I have had NIL money?"
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say someone like I was trying to think back, football wise, to like the Vince Young, and like being at Texas,
Reggie
winning
Bush.
national championship, and Reggie Bush. Of course, he was getting somewhat paid anyhow.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, they took that man's Heisman away from him because he was doing what they're already doing now.
But he got it back, didn't he? I thought, did they end up giving it back to him?
Maybe they did.
I thought so. Finally, like just recently, like maybe a year or 2 ago. But no, it is crazy. How man, we could have got paid at Brescia.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, like selling our jerseys in the merchandise store.
Maybe they could have got us better food in the calf, but that's about it.
Hey, them cafeteria ladies, they loved you, Mason.
It's so funny. We'd go to the cap, we'd come back and be like, all right, guys, what are we going to eat? That was garbage.
Oh, wait.
Well, fellas, this weekend is opening weekend for college football. So, right away, we have a top 25 matchup. Number 22, Iowa State, is taking on number 17, Kansas State. I don't really have go ahead, Mason.
I said in Ireland.
Oh, is it in Ireland? See, I didn't even.
Uh-huh.
Well, that in Ireland. What in the world?
They did it last year,
Big
too.
football town. Big football town.
How awesome would it be if the
Oh, yeah, that's where
commentators?
the Notre Dame, who was it? Notre Dame, Miami?
Played, but I know Notre Dame played.
Notre Dame someone.
Yeah. I want to say A&M.
Maybe it was like for. Maybe yeah, it was A&M. Maybe it was A&M.
I'm sitting here trying to imagine like an Ireland commentator commentating these games.
No, it was not A&M actually.
I thought they played A&M
because they played A&M at A&M and won. That's why it was a shock that they won.
Is Mason's screen blurry to you?
Yeah, it's been blurry the whole time.
Yeah. Okay. It
And
says
he's
19% on
lagging.
his. Yeah, lagging. Just didn't know. Just wanted to see. Hopefully whenever
he kept
this
sending out.
Yeah, hopefully when this goes out, the viewers won't see that part.
We're about to pack the rest of the way.
Yeah, we've had to do that though. Mason.
Oh wait,
Mason,
that's
much better. Much better.
Is that?
Nope, never mind. Still lagging.
No, you moved.
All right,
Better?
well,
Focus.
tell them, go. We're used to packing. I mean, we're used to
Here we
doing
go
the
again.
show.
This
Mason's
one we're
probably
going to do a
gonna bail.
2-man show with Mason on here.
I know. All right, well, Colton had a good idea. So what we're going to do now is we are going to, because honestly, I don't think we want to talk too much about Iowa State, Kansas State. Just throwing that out there, like college football's happening. So now let's start talking about a little bit about college football. But what we're going to do is we're going to give our takes on the college football playoff. So for those who have forgot maybe or just don't know, and you do know, I'm going to give it to you anyways. The college football playoff, this was something that occurred in 2014, started out as a 4-team playoff. And that it was good for a lot of reasons, but it also was there's a lot of bad in it because it just felt like at times the best teams weren't getting in. And, ultimately, when you have a system like that, you want to have the best teams in it because ultimately that's what's going to generate money is the viewership, and it's a business. So what do? Last year was the first time that they expanded it to a 12-team playoff. And so how that works is there's automatic bids. So the 5 highest ranked conference champs, including the least one from the group of 5, gets an automatic bid into the college football playoff. Well, the next you have at-large bids. So that will be 7 of the highest ranked teams. And there's a committee that is the ones making these decisions, giving these teams the at-large bids, these ranks. And then after that is in place, you have your 12 teams. So the first round, there's first round buys, the 4 highest ranked teams overall, regardless of the conference, they receive that first round bye. But they also get the home field advantage once it comes to them, and the higher seeded teams host the first round games. And then there's a neutral site for the bowls, the quarterfinals, semifinals, it rotates. And then you have your championship game at a neutral site as well. So, before we even dive into, I guess, our picks, Colton, do you think that the college football committee, I mean, I guess it's a win-lose situation. What are your thoughts on the expansion? I don't know if we hadn't created Bluegrass State of Mind when they done this, but now we're here. So what are your thoughts on the expansion? Do you think it was too many? Did you like it? What do you think?
No, I like it. I think obviously the revenue that it's going to bring in can't be beat. I mean, that's just, people love more. What it also did was allow some games to be, although it kind of stinks because like the top 4 seeds never get to actually host a game. They're playing neutral sites, but you actually get to have some playoff games on home turfs, which is pretty awesome. I mean, I think 12 is a good number, but as we know, there's already talks about it going to 16 or 24, and I just think that at that point you'll start to get it watered down, because the thing about football is, how many years did we get a Georgia, Notre Dame, and then TCU, right? And then they got to the final, and like Georgia beat TCU that year, like 63-7 in the championship. And Alabama beat Notre Dame, Manti Te'o's year, 40-something-7. So, like, even though you were having 4 teams in it, there was always an obvious better team. And like last year is a little different, but I think ultimately, even though Ohio State lost like 2 games, I mean, when you looked at their roster, they're the best team in the country. Like, just were the best team ends up winning it. Like, I mean, they had the most money spent on that team. Like, they were the best team in the country, and that's normally how it goes. This just isn't much of a sport where you have the
Cinderellas.
the Cinderella teams. Like, that's just not what this is. And so, to me, if there's really no point of expanding it at least past this, I think this is the max it needs to ever go. But we'll see. I mean, I'm a big fan of it because I get to watch more college football.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to complain about it.
Mason, I think you're going to have very similar thoughts. So I want you to be kind of lead us in, some of these picks. So let's just go ahead, and I want you to throw a team out there, and me and Colton will agree, maybe disagree. Let's kind of just start
Let's start with the Power 5 conference champions.
Yeah.
Let's get the 5 winners in.
Okay. So Mason, let's go SEC. Go ahead, Mason. SEC. Who do you foresee winning SEC?
This may be a little bit of a surprise or a sleeper pick for the SEC, but I'm going to say Bama. I think Bama's defense is going to get a lot better this year. I think they have an upgraded quarterback. I think they're going to kind of step back into that role that they had before, known as being the dominant program. I see a big bounce back here coming from Bama. I know that, look, we all know the SEC is loaded, but that's my pick going into the season for winning the SEC. Even if they don't win the SEC, I still think Bama makes it in the college football playoff.
Yeah, I don't hate that at all. I think the 3 teams automatically everybody's thinking of is Bama, Georgia, Texas. I think for me, Texas is the one that I can't put my eggs all in that basket. And the reason why is I think Archie Manning is probably going to be very good. I just don't know. Like he's not been able to showcase fully for an entire season. And I think that Texas has also been that team that they live up to some of the moments, but when it gets to the biggest moments, they never live up to it. And so I can't throw that in. I was actually going to say Georgia. I think Georgia is going to come back this year under Kirby Smart, and I think that Kirby Smart is just that dude when it comes to coaching. Like, he has a fire under him. He's he's a good mixture of relationships in today's modern game of the relationships he builds with his players, but he also has that old school, like, I'm not going to take this from you. And I think that there's a level of respect that his players, like that program, like when you hear Georgia Bulldog football, it's what I used to think of when I thought of Alabama football. So my pick is going to be Georgia. I don't hate the Bama. I would put Bama over Texas because I don't have all the faith. But I also agree that I think Bama and Georgia both are going to get an at large bid, or get a bid into the playoffs. But my vote would be Georgia for winning it.
Yeah, I mean, I was probably going to go with Georgia too. I liked what I saw out of their backup a little bit. I think now he's going to have a full year of, of course he was having to be the backup to Beck, and when Beck went down, he had to kind of step in. It was I think his last name's Stockton, but I think he's pretty good, and I think that he'll now get a full year of getting like full practice at first team reps, everything. I think he's going to come back because that's really where they come back. They just didn't have the receivers Right? They didn't have the scoring that they had in the past, and so I'm going to go with Georgia also. However, what's LSU?
I had them
Mettenberger?
getting in as
Is
well,
it
possibly.
Mettenberger?
I
Right?
have 4 SEC teams getting in my
Yeah,
bracket.
I think
I do
them and
too.
Texas, right?
I have
Them,
4
Texas, Alabama,
SECs.
Georgia.
Yep.
Yeah.
So do we want to go
let's
ahead
go with
and
the
agree to
yeah,
that? Let's go with those 4 teams
yeah.
because that's the 4 that I wrote down.
I
So
agree.
we got
We'll
Georgia,
say those
Alabama,
4 team in.
Texas, and LSU. Okay,
All right. Are we going? Okay, Big Ten champion.
go for it,
Are
Colton.
we thinking?
We know you're a
I
Big
mean,
Ten.
Yeah, go ahead.
yeah. I have no reasons to not think it'll be Ohio State and
I agree.
Jeremiah Smith. And I mean, obviously
They've got the 2 best
they did-
players in the country.
the
I think.
biggest question mark. Caleb Downs and Jeremiah Smith by far. I think are the two best players in the country. The only thing is they just now named their starting quarterback, and it's going to be a freshman. A redshirt freshman. And I mean, you're just coming off a guy that's coming into his 5th year of college football compared to now you're playing with a true. So you never really know. I think that's their big, but man, they just have so much talent. I mean, just 5 stars everywhere. So I'm going to go with them. Is everyone thinking?
Yeah,
Ohio
I agree
State?
totally.
I think Penn State wins the Big Ten. I think Ohio State beats them during the season at Ohio State, and then I think Penn State gets revenge in the Big Ten championship. And I think Penn State ends up winning the Big Ten. I just think
I was just going.
Penn
Well, I
State's
mean,
always just so good. Like that.
Yeah.
That's something I'm known for. And
they return a lot of pieces. They lost some major guys, Abdul Carter and Tyler Warren, the tight end, but they return a lot of guys.
Yep.
Here's my only thing with Penn State, though. Penn State is exactly the way I described Texas.
Texas, yeah.
They never can live up to the moment. Like, I mean, it's there. It's right there for them, and they never can live up to the moment. That's my only fear with them. But is there any other Big Ten teams we want to throw in there? So we got Penn. I agree with Penn State.
Yeah.
Oregon.
Probably. Well, Oregon's another one. Like I don't know who their quarterback is.
The Big Ten's just not good at the SEC. Like Oregon may have a loss to Ohio State or Penn State or whoever they play, but outside of that, Michigan's going to be decent. I don't think they're going to be great, but I think Oregon can slip in there. They have a pretty easy schedule.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's keep Penn State and Ohio State. Let's move on. And then we can revisit if we need to.
Well, let's say Oregon. I'm going to say Oregon. That's 7 teams.
I just don't think you're getting more than one team out of the Power 5. But
out of the, I don't think you're getting. I don't think you're getting more than one team of the other, and then the ACC. The ACC is going to be a little better this year.
Clemson out that.
I think Clemson and Miami, I think, are going to be the 2 teams. I think
the toughest game Oregon has is at Penn State.
Yeah.
So
So let's say Clemson, Miami. That's 9, right?
Yeah, I'm also going to throw in Notre Dame, Fighting Irish.
Yep, I agree. I had them on my list.
Oh yeah. I mean, so that's 10.
Now here's what I'm going to say, fellas. I think there's going to be somebody we're not thinking about. There's got to be a team that we think outside the box on that is like, okay.
I think Boise State or Tulane is going to be are going to be the one of the 2 teams of the. I don't think there's going to be another one though get in. I think it's just going to be one team like that get in. So that's 11. So now you have to have the Big 12 winner, and we're only counting on one Big 12 getting in. Now this one's interesting because the Big 12 is, I think, a toss-up.
I think the Big 12 is very, very even through like the top 6 teams or so. So I think they're going to kind of, obviously not as talented as the SEC, but I think they're going to beat up on each other a lot through the year. Like one team could take one, other team next week, they take one. I think it's going to be very, very loaded at the top there. 9-3.
I think Kansas State.
Who?
Kansas State.
You going to go with Kansas State?
I had Texas Tech.
Yeah, but they put $20 million into their roster.
They spent a lot of money.
I'm going to go with I'm going to go with a team that got hot last year at the end. Baylor.
Baylor's a good pick too.
We got to agree on one. We've got 3 different teams.
I think
we got
we're
Baylor
only.
and
I think
Texas
we're only.
Tech.
I think we're only in agreement though that there's only going to be one team.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
I don't care. Put it in there. I mean, it doesn't matter.
Let's say is Texas Tech ranked?
I don't know.
Oh,
Are they ranked? Does anyone see the AP top 25? Let's just put the highest ranked Big 12 team. They probably won't be, but let's just pretend that it will be.
it's probably Kansas State right
Iowa
now.
State.
Maybe Iowa State.
Yeah, but we
that's
didn't
what I
say
meant,
Iowa State.
Yeah.
Okay, so since we didn't name them, let's just put Iowa State in. Everyone else took someone else.
All right.
Let's just put the team we didn't name. Iowa State.
So we got Georgia, Alabama, Texas, LSU, Ohio State, Penn State, Oregon, Notre Dame, Clemson, Miami, Notre Dame.
Kansas State's ranked higher than Iowa State, aren't they? Isn't Kansas State 17 and Iowa State 22?
Maybe.
Yeah, that's what I said. But y'all didn't want to take them because I agree, though. We all said somebody else, so let's just go Iowa State.
We all said someone else, so we're just going to go with Iowa State.
All right.
So we're at Georgia, Alabama, Texas, LSU, Ohio State, Penn State, Oregon, Notre Dame, Clemson, Miami, Notre Dame, Boise State, Iowa State. Lock it in right now if you're listening. That will be your college football playoff.
Man, the SEC is going to be so hard. Like, you take South Carolina, Florida. Like, I mean, South Carolina's got a projected top 3 quarterback.
Yep.
I mean,
I think Florida's going to be good this year too. Like, if DJ Lagway has the capability, for sure, I'm high on DJ Lagway.
Yeah, I think that's they got hot there at the end of the year last year, so I do think that will be the one problem that they run into at the SEC is that's where I think a second Big 12 team could get in.
Could slip in, yeah.
All right.
I think
let's move on. We're going to run out of time. Go ahead, Mason, finish up.
I was just going to say, I think LSU all depends on that first game against Clemson. You know, their whole season depends on that. They win that, they make the playoff. They don't, I don't think they make it.
I'm ashamed that we didn't say Kentucky. Man. All right, well, let's shift gears to over and over and over.
So let's Western.
Yeah.
Well, let's go to the NFL. So I think that there is a lot of different things we could talk about. I think this is something interesting. There could be some locals that I believe are Colts fans. Let's break down this Colts drama that's going on. It's kind of funny, hysterical. You know, I sit here, Mason, I think about whenever you was sitting there, you was talking about Titans need help. We need help. Well, let me tell you right now, it could be worse. And the Colts are worse, I feel like, for the foreseeable future. You're talking about wasting a number 4 draft pick in 2023 on a guy who many people said, don't go get. Don't go get. But for some reason, the Indianapolis Colts thought this guy was the guy in Richardson. And I've just lost his first name.
Anthony
Richardson. He has started. Now, I looked it up because, there's no way this is right. But everything I have found, this is what it said. It says that he has started in 15 NFL games. I don't know if he's actually completed all of those games. He has an 8-7 record, but honestly, I just can't recall watching this guy in 15 games. There's no way that he's finished 15 games. But what makes this scenario even worse is that the Indianapolis Colts are starting Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones was a starter at the New York Giants from the 2019 to the 2023 season. As a starter, Daniel Jones was 22-36-1. And he had a playoff record of 1-1. So yes, the Titans may not be able to protect Cam Ward all the time. We may not have any weapons to throw to. But what we do have...
We may be terrible.
But what we do have, I really feel like, is a chance And yes, hope. And all sources saying Cam Ward was the best quarterback to get. The Indianapolis Colts did none of that. Wasting that number 4 pick has got to be right up there with us trading A.J. Brown. It was, I mean, it was just a terrible, terrible decision. Colton,
Y'all's
go
division
at it.
is just
I'm
What are
going
they?
out.
What's going on?
Listen, they have to and if teams haven't learned by now, you have to stay away from these guys that have only played 12, 13 college games. Stay away from them. Trey Lance, Anthony Richardson, right? They're going off of them based on their physical attributes,
Potential.
right? Their potential. But now, if you haven't learned it, look at Bo Nix, right? Haven't fit 5 years in college. Jaden Daniels, 5 years in college, right? Like all these guys have played so much college football. Jalen Hurts, like, and with NIL now, I mean, guys are having more reason to stay. But like, why would you not focus on that? I mean, like people tried to tell. Like yeah. I mean, that's a mess up in the pick. Here, I will say about this. I don't think Daniel Jones is the man at all. But now we have seen the Bakers, the Sam Darnolds. You know, we've seen some of them get into a different system, and all of a sudden, kind of revive their careers. Because look, I think Darnold's a product of the system. I think Baker's somewhat the same way. And Daniel Jones, I will say, you know, they won that playoff game a couple years ago. And Daniel Jones had a really good season, got paid. And, you know, I do think he's in a better system than he was in New York. I think he's out of the limelight a little bit. New York's a tough market to be in. He's obviously had some injuries. I do think he's got a better offensive line. A lot of those years they didn't have anything for him outside of neighbors. That last year,
Also,
I
didn't have
think he's
any
got a
weapons
chance.
in New York, really.
But
I mean,
look, the truth is that everyone's talking about how like they've pretty much given up on Richardson. Remember last year whenever he like did a run or a scramble and he like tapped his helmet, right? Needed to come out of the game. And everyone's like, I've never seen a quarterback asked to come out of the game that wasn't actually injured because he was tired. Could you imagine Tom Brady saying, I'm going to take this play off? Like that's, I mean, right there was enough to be like, this guy's not ready. But now, I say that stuff, but he's also a product of them wanting to throw these rookies straight in to the NFL. Like Tom Brady come in and said, Aaron Rodgers said, right? Like all these guys said, and you're talking about a guy that played 13 career games and you threw him out. You threw him out there. Like I just think that those type of guys now maybe he'll have a chance, right? Play behind Daniel Jones. Maybe his maturity level comes. Maybe he sees the defense, and then maybe he can use those physical attributes. I just I think you might as well try to trade him while you got a chance to get something out of him.
I agree. And I think that, you know, like you said, yeah, he may have the opportunity to kind of learn from Daniel Jones, but I think at this point, that's what they do with these rookie quarterbacks. You know, they come in and their confidence is gone, completely gone, you know, and it's hard to get that back in the NFL. You know, if you have all these thoughts running through your head, oh, I did this season, I did this, you know, before, it's just really hard to get that back if you come in and just get off to such a rocky start like he did. I was looking at QBRs from last year, and he was the lowest in the league. And Will Levis's QBR, like y'all thought Will Levis was, you know, pretty bad last year. He made some dumb mistakes. I mean, like terrible, just stupid mistakes, you know. But I mean, his QBR rating was still 20 points higher than Anthony Richardson's.
Yeah,
It's like, you know, I agree, Colton. I don't know. You know, you remember going in that draft, everybody was like, okay, you know, a lot of people were saying, you know, Levis over Richardson. And then at the combine, I think he kind of got some hype based off of some of his numbers and physical attributes and athleticness and things like that. And he ended up going way before Levis. Levis kind of dropped. But he played, like you said, 12, 13 games, whatever it is in college, and then you want to draft him with the 4th overall pick. Like, you didn't have a big enough sample size, in my opinion, to take somebody to be your franchise quarterback. That
He played 13 games in college, and Kentucky made him look terrible. Like, Kentucky made him look terrible that year. Like, how do you look at that and be like, this guy, that's it. He's the man. No, they've been searching.
I don't get it.
And look, they had bad luck. They had bad luck when Andrew Luck decided to retire. Look, when Andrew Luck retired, it ruined their entire thing. They had found the second, like, Peyton Manning. They found him, right? And he should be right now just getting ready to wrap up his career. Like 2 or 3 years left and be done. And then you could restart again. Instead, you've had to go after just so many different guys because all of a sudden the guy retired after 6 seasons.
Did you see his comments that he had just recently?
Yeah, about regretting. Like yeah.
So that's just a weird scenario too. Like he
Yeah.
must have. I mean, I don't want to question him, but he must have had some serious stuff going on, and like not having fun. He may have had family stuff. I don't know. He may still just want to hide that and not say anything. I don't know. But like, I mean, you're right. I mean, he was like built to be the next Peyton Manning. I mean, he had everything. Like he was that pocket passer that, you know, wasn't going to flash you with his being able to get out of the pocket and run. But he was definitely going to stay in there in the accuracy, and he was going to deliver and be a franchise quarterback for 15 years. But unfortunately, that's not what happened. All right, well, let's get into our last segment of the night. Touch up on the tour championship, kind of go back to last week's win. Man, I mean,
who won
just
it again?
continuing.
What was that guy's name?
You know, I've seen all kinds of things. Just like, man, I've seen more of Bennett Scheffler than I have of my own.
Like week by week. Week by week growth updates.
Yeah, we're all getting to see this boy grow in our eyes. You know, he's getting next to a trophy every Sunday. Just another casual Sunday for Scottie Scheffler. So Scottie Scheffler goes out and has a good comeback win, down 4 shots to Robert McIntyre. Goes in the BMW Championship and wins for the 5th time, only being the other player, I forgot how many years it's been, other than Tiger, to win 5 times on the PGA Tour. I have a lot of thoughts about this. I am absolutely pumped for the Ryder Cup. I cannot wait. And I'm going to go ahead and explain why. So, I don't know if you all had seen the comments that Robert McIntyre had on Saturday. There's two comments he made, and I was just, all right, buddy, you better be ready. So the first one he was talking about, which this one didn't bother me as much, but I was like, man, it's a big, bold comment. I guess it's true, but I mean, power to you. But he said first, you know, when my putter gets hot, I'm scary. Like I'm dangerous. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, yeah, that's true. But, you know, a lot of people, if their putter's hot, they're dangerous. Like, that was my immediate thought. Like, I'm like, okay. But the one that really, like, do what now?
I said Russell Henley today, his putter was hot, you know, and he came out in his lead.
Mason, your connection's terrible.
I can't hear a word he's saying, but I'm going to continue on.
You were doing good.
Let me move back over here.
Okay, well, I'm gonna continue on with my rant, but don't interrupt me again like that, Mason. If I can't understand a word you say. But anyways, the other comment that like just drove me nuts and that like made me like, okay, let's get this Ryder Cup. Come on, USA, we better dominate. Scotty, go. Is after the round on Saturday, Robert McIntyre had some interaction with some fans who were saying USA stuff, but then one of them said something like, you're going to lip it out or something along those lines. And he made it, and he looked back and done the little finger there. And he done that too. And, you know, but the post after that, his comments were, he said, yeah, you know, I've always had to fight for everything that I have. And he says, it's not about the dog in the fight. It's about the fight and the dog. And I'm just sitting there, I'm like, buddy, you ain't going into a match tomorrow with a dog. You going in with a killer. And you better be ready because this ain't no regular dog. It's a bulldog you're about to go up with Scottie Scheffler. And I'm just sitting there and I'm just thinking, that, and for you to say that, you better come back and you better be a dog. And let me tell you, he was a Chihuahua. He shot 3 over. How in the world are you going to make comments like that and then respond with a 3 over round, 4 strokes against the person that you're playing against and shoot 3 over? That just tells me that I'm like, you are not no dog. You are far from it right now. Now, you're a good player.
Yeah.
But that really rubbed me the wrong way. I don't know if it's because I'm just USA, like I'm getting pumped for the Ryder Cup. I think that's a lot of it because I think Robert McIntyre is a good guy. Like he clapped for JJ's Spawn when he made that putt. He always has been very humble, I say, but like that just was. I was like, man, you better watch what you're saying to know who you're going against. Did y'all see any of that stuff or have any thoughts, the same thoughts? But it was just me, gets me fired up.
Oh yeah. I did see it. Like my comment, like afterwards when he did the press afterwards, and you see where he was like, I just want to go like smash all my clubs, or he made that comment about like
Yeah,
his
I did
round.
see that.
But he also was like initially he was just like talking about how if like Scottie doesn't chip in and where he doesn't get up and down. And he's like, he said, like, if Scottie don't get up and down there and I do it, then things are different. And I was going to be like, things are different because you shot 3 over.
Yeah.
Like, things aren't different because of Scottie's chipping. Things are different because you shot 3 over. Like,
absolutely.
Like, don't be coming out like that's on you. But I mean, look, I will say, I think I could see Bobby Mack being a match play legend. Like, I think he's got it. I think he's going to be a guy for the European team going forward. Like, I think he's going to be somewhat of a new,
going
like,
forward because they're
Poulter or
getting
Sergio.
older. Like, they're getting older.
Yeah, but I
they
think,
gotta
like,
have somebody.
Like, I think he's built for match play. I really do.
Wow. Maybe so. Mason, let me throw you some stats for you, and then I want your comments. So, since March 1st, 2024, Scottie Scheffler has a better winning percentage at 41% than the 49ers, the Panthers, Bears, Saints, Jets, Jaguars, Patriots, Raiders, Browns, Giants, Titans, White Sox, Rockies, Trailblazers, 76ers, Pelicans, Nets, Raptors, Hornets, Wizards, and Jazz. Let me throw you some more stuff real quick, and then I want your comments. This is crazy stats, I'm telling you. This is Scottie's 14th win in 33 starts. He has 3 majors, 6 signature events, 2 playoff events, 1 gold medal, 2 regular events. I'm not done. Since the 2025 players ended, Scottie has played 13 tournaments. He's won 5 of them and lost to only 34 total golfers in 13 events. Getting close to being done. Hold on. This year, Scottie has won the Byron Nelson, the PGA, the Memorial, the Open, and the BMW, and some could say, arguably, this isn't his best season in the last 2 years. And then one more comment. I did see one more comment, and I love this comment. Somebody put on Twitter or X, they said, he's not Tiger, but he isn't not Tiger.
I mean, can y'all hear me now? Am I allowed to talk?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I can hear you now. Your face is clear, everything.
So, I mean, yeah, he's the closest thing. We've said it all season long, right? He's the closest thing to Tiger that we've seen. And I saw something funny earlier that just it made me laugh so hard. It was Phil's tweet on X, right, about will Scottie Scheffler win? And somebody quoted the tweet and said, if y'all ever wondered how this guy lost 9 figures betting, here's why. And I was like, yeah. We talked about it whenever he said, like, he's going to win at some point, like, and watching him, like, today, I mean, I think this says something about Scottie too, not a whole lot of golfers, he would have had the lead by whatever, strokes against so many people in this tournament coming in this year if they did change the format at the Tour Championship, right? And he's like, I actually like the change. He was like, I don't like the strokes. And Scottie's deep down, he's like, can't nobody beat me if I go out there and just play how I play golf. He's like, it doesn't matter if I have strokes or not. y'all don't stand a chance, you know. And he comes out today and fires a smooth 7 under, and he's 2 shots back. Usually, he's usually sitting a few shots back after the first round, and he just puts 4 rounds together, and he's going to come out and probably end up winning by 6 or 7 strokes if I had to guess. But
I know we've talked about this before, but I mean, I know Scottie's saying that he doesn't like the. I just think it's bogus. I do. I think that that's not even because I'm a Scottie fan. Like if I'm trying to think of somebody I can't stand. I don't know right now.
Well,
Justin Rose, he gets on my nerves. But if Justin
I
Rose
mean, even
won
I could have lived with
this
Justin
much,
Rose, but this morning, like Nick Taylor was leading for a while.
yeah.
Like in the initial, and I thought to myself, if Nick Taylor wins the FedEx Cup,
But they've got to erase the title, the
yeah,
season long race. It's not a season long race, and they've got to get rid of it. It's not like there needs to be a separate prize money, like we talked about, and then have this a prize money tournament. Like Scottie Scheffler should have got something for getting the most points for the entire season, and he's not getting anything for that. Like, I mean, obviously he got money for those tournaments he won, but I'm just saying, like, it's just not. I just don't think it's fair. I really don't. And and I don't care if it was Scottie or not. Um,
Scotty
and
don't
some people
care.
may disagree. I know he don't care, but I mean, it's just I would be kind of upset about it. Colton, I want to jump to you while we're talking about golf. Before we continue, also I know we got into last week's, but obviously this week is the Tour Championship. It's being played at East Lake. We've already talked about that format, but I want to jump ship real quick. Didn't prepare you for this, but I know you are ready to fire at it because I know how much you can't stand it. Let's talk a little bit about Live. Okay. We're talking about, and the reason why I bring this up is because you have a guy in Joaquin Neiman who won 5 Live events this year, and somehow John Rahm won 0, and John Rahm was your season-long in points champion. Got a $20 million bonus. Um, talking about a guy who, is probably going to be on the Ryder Cup, but like, can you make sense of it? What's your immediate thoughts? Like, is it just another thing that like just needs to be blasted on Happy Gilmore 3, possibly?
yeah. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's actually kind of what the tour was the year that when Tiger won a tour championship, but Justin Rose won the
Oh, that is right. The FedEx, yes.
when he won the FedEx, and that's
Mm-hmm.
pretty much what the tour went away from. Like they didn't want that to happen anymore, so Leo decided that they still wanted to happen. Like it just ain't like poor old Waco. I mean, winning 5 times. Now, I get it. Like you can win 5 times and have a. I mean, it's the same way as you take like a Ben Campbell, right? He won twice this year on the PGA Tour, but obviously Tommy Fleetwood, who's never won, is obviously better, like consistently better than what Ben Campbell is. But so there's give or take there. Look, my biggest complaint with Liv is that they sit there and played on a friggin' like a normal country club this past week in Indianapolis, like we would have played
That
on.
was crazy. Did you see the
I mean,
people that were sitting like right? I mean, it was hilarious. I was like,
they're
"Whoa!"
sitting
They
in
were right
I
on
mean,
top.
they're looking at their backyard. They're half the fairways are ground under repair. I mean, it looks like we could have paid $50 and played that place on a like
Did y'all?
it was but that's what they play. Like it's nonsense. It was flip wedges in the whole week. I mean, they want to know why Waco is winning some of these tournaments and then getting to the majors and not doing anything. Well, they're playing resort courses. They're playing courses that these guys are designed to just go, like you miss wherever, flip wedge in, whatever. They want a show is what they want, and at the end of the day, they wonder why they're not as prepared.
What was you gonna say, Mason?
Did y'all see where they played the song for Tyrrell Hatton? Did y'all see that?
I'm a little teapot. Yes, that was hilarious.
I was cracking
Could you
up.
imagine? I mean, like I don't know that I like it's hilarious, but like just sitting here over a golf shot, and all of a sudden I'm a little teapot, short Like you have to hit over that blasting on a party hoe.
Oh,
Colton's just sitting here like, what is going on? What
It
is
was trash.
perhaps
Trash.
history board
That's what
member
they
hit
are.
party hoe next year for for Calcutta,
That's what
or
they'd want. Heck, they'll probably ask us if they can play at Hidden Hills. The type of golf they play.
I'd come watch them. Not gonna lie. I'd be there camping out.
Nonsense.
All right, well let's
We're
get
not putting any water in the coolers.
All right, let's get to our picks real quick. So obviously, guys, we are recording this on Thursday night because we already know the leader it is Russell Henley. But we did send picks this morning. I'll start mine out. My 2 picks this morning. We did 2 picks in a sleeper. My first pick was Harris English. I just think he's playing well still, trying to prove himself as a Ryder Cup pick. And then I picked Victor Hovland. Victor Hovland, I think when I think of Victor Hovland, I just think that he's had such an up and down year, but he usually plays well here. He won this 2 years ago. And then my sleeper pick was Patrick Cantley, who currently is, I forgot, does anybody, I know he's top 10 for sure
Like,
right now.
Tied for third, I think.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, I had him because I think that, he's like Colton said, he snuck in a top 10 finish. I think he's slowly proving everybody who doubted him to not be a pick, even myself. Like I was like at one time 2 weeks ago, like I just don't know if I can get, and now he's starting to say, Dylan, don't forget, I'm a dog. You need me. When it comes down to it, you want me on this team. And I agree. I would pick Patrick Cantley right now. And he's just, I think that if he wins this, it's just a solidifier. If there's anybody questioning that. Mason, who you got? Who's your picks?
So my picks were Shane Lowry. He's played well this year, kind of fallen off, the last few weeks, hoping for a bounce back. And then I think he finished at even par today. Not a great round, but then I picked my boy JT. JT, as we all know, has been having a much better. He did much better year, and when JT's on, JT's on. He can compete with anybody. He had a good round today, sitting at 6 under, tied third.
But he did have one bad
and
hole, and that's what separates him and Scottie. JT usually has that one, kind of like Ricky. Ricky has multiple of them, but JT has they just can't stay away from it.
That's that friend group. Spieth, Ricky, Fowler, they all have those, a few holes where they have a blow-up hole. It's like, what are you doing? So yeah, JT, I'd love to see JT win it. Obviously, one of my favorite golfers. And then my sleeper pick, who is sitting at dead last right now, was Sepp Straka. So we'll just move on. Colton, give us yours.
You're doing great, man. All right, so I had Russell Henley. Where's he at? Give me the top of the leaderboard. Hey, Henley is built for this course, man. I mean, it's not a long guys course. It's a putting contest. It's a guys who don't mess up much, and that's Henley, right? As long as you're hitting fairways and you can putt at all, like this course is right up his alley. I think he ended up finishing 4th here last year. He plays it well. He's been so consistent all year. To me, I think he is one of by far the strongest Ryder Cup players, by far. Like I think you can put him with anyone, and I think, which is crazy to think, but after watching what he done in the President's Cup last year, like him and Scottie and the way he played, I'm looking so forward to him getting into a match play with someone. Like I would put him up. I'm not scared for him to play anyone on the European team, like a Rory, even.
Right.
Like I'm not. Give it to him. So I had him, and then I had shoot, I done forgot who my I know my sleeper is my sleeper. Oh wait, no. My second, Bobby Mack. Bobby Mack.
That is right.
Was my other
did
pick.
have him.
Yeah, where's he at? Tied for third. Oh, man, he's in tied for third. Also one of those 6-unders. He's just playing. He's playing good right now. That putter is so hot, like it just is. I watched some highlights today, and I mean, he made multiple 20-foot putts today. Like I mean, it's just right now he's rolling the rock. He's kind of locked in the zone. He's been right there in the top. I think he's got I think it's crazy, whatever the stat was, but he's had like 5 to 6 or 8 like top 25, like straight top 25s, like Bobby Mack had. So it's pretty crazy. And then my sleeper, and he started out hot, was Ludwig
Yeah, he did start out
Gobert.
hot.
So he started out
What do
hot, finished at 4 under. I think he's like T8 maybe. He shot 4 under. He was 4 under through like 6.
Yep.
And he finished 4 under. But man, if you watch, I don't know if y'all got to watch him play at all. He legit had like 6 straight holes that he hit the lip on, like 6 straight birdie putts that all hit the lip. And I mean, like they were the best putts you could have made without making the putt. So maybe they go in tomorrow, but Levitt was my sleeper. So all 3 of mine, top 8, leader, 3rd place, tie for 8th, I think, is Ludwig.
Well,
Do what? Yeah,
that's
yours is
good.
dead last. Good job, Mason.
That's good. I still have the most wins so far. I called Russell Henley earlier this season and Keegan Bradley. You have your 1. So maybe you might tie me, but I am pumped for the Ryder Cup. I'm just pumped for it.
Yeah,
So
we'll have a good Ryder Cup special episode coming as it gets a little closer.
yeah, I would like for us to get together, but we'll see. Who knows? People keep saying coming up with excuses, but
Nobody can.
we appreciate you all, and as always, go Cats.
Okay.
Go Cats.
That's a wrap for this episode of Bluegrass State of Mind. If you enjoyed the show, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe so you never miss an episode. Also, be on the lookout for our social media pages and be sure to follow them. We've got plenty more stories, insights, and conversations coming your way. And if you really loved it, make sure to share it with a friend. From the hills to the hollers, thanks for tuning in. Until next time, keep that Kentucky spirit strong.